Crabman here from Crabman Gaming, and today we are playing Cricket Captain 2020, and it is the beginning of my international save with Australia. My aim is for this to be a 10-part video following the entire first season, and will be broken up into 10 parts. So there'll generally be about 2 test matches per video, or up to 6 T20s and ODIs depending on the video. So we're going to kick it off today with 2 tests against Bangladesh and then the one-off T20 against Scotland. So obviously these games were cancelled and they have not taken place as it's past the 11th of June now. So this would have been Australia going to Bangladesh. They actually drew their last series in Bangladesh 1-1, which was the first time they had ever been defeated by Bangladesh. I think they lost by 20 runs in quite an interesting game if you did watch it. What I'm going to do just before I pick the squad is just have a look at last year's test stats. So this is the career stats. Curtis Patterson's probably going to stay up there for a while, having 2 tests against Sri Lanka when Smith and Warner were suspended. But last year, let's have a little look. We kick it off with the highest performing batsman, Manus Labuschagne, and I'll try my best to pronounce his name in Afrikaans, how it probably should be pronounced. Australians are a little bit lazy and just pronounce it Labuschagne, but I'm going to try and go with Labuschagne if I can. Smith, 1,000 runs at 73, did very well. Warner, 55, terrible average in the Ashes of under 10, but then scored nearly 500 runs against Pakistan, I think being dismissed once, so that boosted the average. Wade did okay at 36, Head okay again, Burns okay. One of my favourite players, Joe Burns. I think he's really underrated, so he'll definitely be in my side. Not really sure why they gave Siddle 3 tests in the Ashes. 7 wickets at 42 wasn't amazing. Stark played 1 test in the Ashes and really cleaned up in the Australian summer. Tim Paine never really kicks on with the bat. I think he gets overrated as a batsman. I might start with him, though, in my team. Pattinson did okay, coming back after a long time. Mitchy Marsh got 1 test in the Ashes. Khawaja, well, I always had the feeling that Justin Langer was trying to get rid of him as quickly as possible. If you've watched The Test on Amazon Prime, that series, you kind of get the feeling that they're not on the same page. And after a few failures, as soon as JL was in, Khawaja was out. Lyon, 47 wickets at 26, amazing. Bancroft and Harris opening in England didn't do anything. And Cummins, 49 wickets at 21, phenomenal. And same for Hazelwood, despite being left out the first game of the Ashes and missing a couple of games as well. So Australia played 10 tests. Cummins' test career, though, 143 wickets at 21. It's elite. Okay, let's kick this off because I'm trying to aim for these videos to be about 30 to 40 minutes long. I don't want them to be too long. So let's pick our squad. You still get to pick 18 people, which is a lot. So what I might do, what I tend to do is go on last year's people. I probably will get Shaun Marsh back in, so don't panic. I'm just going to take out, definitely leave Joe Richardson in, and I'm not too sure on Zampa and Behrendorff. I just want to see all of the options, but we've got 13 players who played last year. I'm pretty keen for all of these players to be in the squad. Joe Richardson, a really big emerging talent from Western Australia, dislocated his shoulder just before the 50-over World Cup and was a huge kind of factor to be in. Well, butchered that sentence up, but he was very likely for him to be in that squad. He was probably going to be just outside the playing 11, but a very solid player. Okay, let's go to first class, maybe pick career. So we probably want, let's check our batsmen first. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, where's Matty Wade's not in there? So that's a little bit strange. Let's get Matty Wade back in. You kind of have to go to all of Australia. And last year, so Matty Wade he's out. He's injured. Okay, that's opens up some options. We'll need some batsmen. So, yep, we don't want anyone from there. Let's have a look at who we've got pick a couple of batters. We probably need a reserve keeper. It probably is Carey. I don't know why I selected him. I'm going to get Cameron Green in the squad from WA. He started getting some runs and taking a lot of wickets before a back injury just left him batting in the Big Bash, but good experience. Warpakovsky is still waiting for him to impress. So who do we want? We can have Pakovsky, Kawaja, Marsh or Patterson. I'm a big fan of Marsh. Let's see what people did last year. Who's deserving to go in? Madison did so well. And then sadly was suffering from a few mental health issues and possibly withdrew from test selection. Like he wasn't picked, but he kind of took the ability away to be chosen. So I definitely want Ashton Agar in. He didn't bowl very well last year, but he's a really good all-rounder to have in the side. Finch didn't do very well, his opportunities. So I might pick... Well, Carey needs to come in. I don't even know if we need another batter then, really. I might pick another... I don't know if we need another seamer. Yeah, let's get a batter and a spinner. We've got Agar. Alright, let's pick last year's batting. Let's get Pakovsky in. Go on. He probably won't play, but let's get him in and around the squad. And let's check out bowling. Let's get a spin option in. Peter Siddle actually took a lot of wickets, but I think a lot of those were in the English second division. So, Michael Neser, he has been so unlucky. He's been 12th man about 10 or 11 times for Australia. Not many spinners here to choose from. I think that's the problem going forward for Australia, just having Lyon, is that they don't really have a good second spinner. Glenn Maxwell as well. He really should get another go, but I'll put Pakovsky in for now. John Holland, probably... See, Steve O'Keefe I'd have in, but I think he's retired, so... has he retired from... Yeah, he's retired from Test cricket here. So what I might do is... I might pick Zampa, and I know those stats are not great, but let's see how he progresses. 105 wickets at 48. Let's see if that average comes down as we play. So this is my squad. It's a bit tricky always to pick your first squad. I quite like it. Let's kick it off. Warner and Joe Burns are going to be my openers. Labuschagne 3, Smith 4. Let's get some batting in them. I don't think there's any argument about the pace and bowling quartet of Stark, Cummins, Lyon and Hazelwood. Kind of need to see who I'm going to pick for Wade, though. Might be maybe Ashton Agar. He actually played I think he played both tests in Bangladesh. So if you see he's got 4 tests here, everyone remembers the 2 tests against England, but he actually played 2 against Bangladesh. Yeah, here we go. He didn't really get much of a bowl, but 7 wickets at 23 was pretty tidy. He was used as the third spinner with Steve O'Keefe in that second test. Okay, and let's see, they want Carey to be the keeper. And let's get Travis Head, because he's not doing anything else, to get some fielding. Okay, Australia in Bangladesh. I haven't actually played a test match in Cricket Captain 2020 yet. Sorry for all my waffling to kick off this video. Let's check out the deck. Oh, it's not actually a spinning deck. That's really strange. So pick Mitch Marsh or pick Agar. I'm actually going to go with Agar. I'm going to back him in at 6 above. Tim Payne should probably be there as the captain. Do you know what? It's my game. Steve Smith's being captain. Don't worry about it. Let's get Warner, Burns, Labuschagne, Smith, Head, Agar. Probably a bit of a... Probably couldn't play Agar against most other countries, but Bangladesh I will. Payne, Stark, Cummins, Lyon. Do you know, I'm getting Cummins above Stark. Lyon, Hazelwood, and let's open with... Gee, it's tough. Usually I open with Hazelwood and Stark, and Cummins always first change. Let's do that. I reckon Stark needs to have the first over. Okay, let's begin. Let's have a look at Bangladesh's lineup. Tamim Iqbal, He's been a really great player for them for a long time. Hussain up the top, not a great test average. Monomal Haq, 40, that's pretty good. Mushfiqur Rahim, 36, that's pretty good. Saka, that's okay. Mamadullah, who doesn't really have a first name, but in the game they have to put it in. I think that's Mozadek Hussain. 41, that looks good. Maybe bowls as well. Bit of an all-rounder. Hassan, don't really know. Mushfiqur Rahman. It's a long tail if he's batting at 9. He's a genuine 11. Jayad, I don't really know. And Ahmed, not too knowledgeable about those players. So they've gone in with really 5 bowlers. Mamadullah doesn't really bowl. So really the 5 bowlers for Bangladesh. And we're going to kick it off. We might just play 4s and wickets just for about the first 10 overs in case you haven't seen much of the gameplay. And let's go in quite aggressive. Here's Jayad. What are his stats? Has he played 10 games, average of 32, so that's okay. Alright, let's see what we get. Oh, Warner, beautiful pull shot. I am hoping that we should put in a dominant performance, and generally when I play as Australia in the previous versions, they've been very, very strong and very hard to beat in test matches. But playing a new version, oh, there's Warner out. He's just bobbled one up to short leg. In comes Labuschagne. Let's not go too aggressive. We'll see how they go. I'm really hoping Joe Burns gets a good score. I can't believe he scored 180 against Sri Lanka, and then the next test was the Ashes, and he wasn't even in the squad. So just let that sink in. I think it was a 15 or an 18-man squad, or a 16-man squad. He scored 180 opening the batting for Australia, and in the next test match, they replaced him with Cameron Bancroft. And he wasn't even in the squad to be picked. So when Bancroft did badly, they put in Harris, who did just as badly. Joe Burns should have been there from the start. It gives a lovely left-right combination. I'm a huge Joe Burns fan. I always get the feeling that the Australian selectors are not keen on Burns. They seem to have their favourites, and they seem to have people they don't like very much. Joe Burns is someone they don't like. Sean Marsh is someone sometimes they don't seem to like, but the selectors seem to get him in. And Steve O'Keefe, they've never seemed to want around the team as well, despite having an excellent first-class record. I know he had a few off-field indiscretions, but in my opinion was the second best spinner in Australia for a long time after Lyon, and he should have played more test cricket. So that's my view on that. All right, let's get to 20 overs, and then I'll skip through a little bit more quickly. Otherwise, 2 test matches can go for a really long time, and then I get less distracted by the highlights and actually follow what's going on in the game as I'm chatting to you here as well. So if you've enjoyed the video so far, thanks very much for watching. My first Cricket Captain video was a full playthrough of the 100, so that was pretty awesome as the Trent Rockets, a new format, and I also played a whole season of the IPL as the Royal Challengers Bangalore, and now onto this 10-part Australia series, which should be really exciting. All right, I'm going to flick to bowling. So they've kind of got the 5 bowlers, so I'll just show them quick. So you've got Ahmed, we had a look at, who's medium fast here. Abu Jayed, who I don't really know, he's medium fast as well. Mustafiza Rahim is probably their best bowler. No Shakib Al Hassan at the moment because he's serving a 12-month suspension for, I think, failure to report a bookmaker's approach, which is a little bit unfortunate. Hassan here, he's got a pretty good average early on, and Mozadek Hussain bowls some offies as well. I don't think Mamadullah bowls very well. 50 test matches for 43 wickets, so he's just more of a 6th option. All right, let's see how we go. Labuschagne just settling in. Let's just blast through to the first lunch break. Get to the break. Burns 46 not out. Labuschagne 28 not out. Just a nice solid start. Forgot to check for any rain. I've actually played 2 full seasons through already, and there's been no rain at all. So we know in the first class and test matches there's been rain in the series for a long time. Maybe since, I don't really know. I think for a long, long time. at least 15 years, but there's never been rain in one-day matches or T20 matches, but I haven't seen any rain yet this year. Okay, Burns approaching a 50. We might watch his 50. It will be this little dab for a single. Brings up the first 50 of the season. And it's interesting that the season kind of runs from April to April in cricket captain land. There's not really official seasons. Normally, you kind of have to put it somewhere. And I do kind of like it when the IPL starts as well. Burns has snicked one behind. In comes Steve Smith. Current average 62.84. We're not going to go too crazy with Steve Smith. I want him to anchor in all day. Labuschagne gone for 36. So 3 for 119. That's okay. We'll need Smith and Head to just anchor down and set a little partnership here. Let's try and get through to T3 down. All right, Head's gone for 13. In comes Agar. So this is probably where the weaker tail comes in. They're going to need to support Smith. I'm just going to bump him up a little bit. Oh, Agar run out. Steve Smith barbecued him. What's happened? Yep, absolute barbecue from Steve Smith. Steve Waugh style. Don't know if you've seen the video online. You can search for it where Steve Waugh was involved in over 100 runouts in his career, and somebody created a video of as many of those runouts as he could find. So that's a pretty interesting watch. All right, Captain Tim Paine just needs to anchor down. Oh, Mamadala's getting a bowl. 5 for 175. It's a pretty good wicket. Average. All right, let's just anchor in. There's no need to rush. For this last 10, I might just go a little bit harder. They seem to be bowling Jayed and Hassan a lot. Saka hasn't really bowled. Oh, he's a batsman, but he does bowl a little bit. I think he got a 3 for against Australia in their World Cup match. I think that's where this 3 for 56 came from. So they've got 3, 4. There's someone they're not bowling. Let's have a look who it is. Who hasn't had a bowl? Oh, Mozadek Hussain hasn't had a bowl. Very interesting. Sometimes interesting to see the tactics of the computer player. It's Tim Paine. Generally what he does is get a 20 or 30, look okay, and then get out. Bangladesh not opting to take the new ball. Steve Smith, like normal, dominating. Would you expect anything else? Hopefully, Paddy and Steve Smith can go on. Now, as there's just 18 minutes left, I'm really just going to shut up shop for about 5 overs and try and preserve the wickets for the end of the day. All right, day 1 complete. Steve Smith, 89. Joe Burns, 60. 6 for 264. It's okay. It really is going to depend on how Bangladesh bat. Okay, I'm going to go a little bit quicker now. Because I don't want autoplay. I don't want this video to go for too long. We've got 2 tests and a T20 to play. I said the goal is half an hour. It's probably going to be closer to the hour mark, but that's okay. All right, Smith. Oh, I didn't. So busy chatting away. I did not even notice his 100. I can't even remember if that was last night or today. Sometimes there's so many numbers going on, and I'm going through what's happened. I get a little bit confused. Caught in the deep, so magnificent 116. It is Steve Smith's 27th Test 100. Pretty good for a guy who came in number 8 and number 9 and bowling some leg spin in, I think, at Lords against Pakistan in 2010. All right, here's Paddy. I think I get annoyed about Pat Cummins is I don't know why he's set to very defensive. He's not a very defensive batsman. Defensive at his slowest. So that's just a minor thing that I wish they would change, but I'm sure they have their reasons. He bats well, he just bats slow. All right, he's out. We've got last wicket. Hazelwood in line. Hazelwood gone. 328, that's okay. So highlights, Burns 60, Labuschagne 36, Smith 116. Pretty good from Cummins, 32. Paine chips in with 28. Who got the wickets? 3 each for Jayed, Ahmed and Hassan. And Mustafizur Rahman didn't bowl that many overs. All right. And I generally set the highlights to low in chances for test matches as well, but if this video seems to be going for too long, I will just pull it back a little bit. Oh, should have had some more slips in. Tammy Iqbal nicks one through the slips. I do tend to not be as aggressive as I could be. So if you have any tips for me, any pointers, please comment them down below. I've probably been playing the same way for 15 years. I just get into a comfortable habit. That's lunch on day 2. Bangladesh, none down. I'm going to get Paddy Cummins in. I'm keen. Sometimes I'll bowl over the wicket. There we go. Nice snick from Stark. He's got Tammy Iqbal gone for 22. Dangerous player. I'm going to get Paddy just to come around the wicket. Alright, Stark doing well. Let's keep bowling on. Seems to have come in. Oh, a little inside edge from Stark. And he has got Manamal Haq there for 3. So 2 for 19 from Stark. I'm sure he's going to lead the attack with me for this season. I don't see this core 4 changing too much. They're probably going to play just about every game. Cummins going to come back over. Last over for Stark. And let's just swap Paddy's end. I'll get Hazelwood in. That's pretty close. Must have just been outside the line. Oh, that's tight. That is tight. And that way I can bowl Cummins probably 2 more before bringing Lyon on. Looks to be pretty hot here in Bangladesh. Oh, some cloudy session. Alright, let's get Lyon in. It's really strange that it's not a spinning wicket. Generally in Bangladesh, they are always absolute dust bowls like India, and I think one of the matches they played, each side only had 1 pace bowler and 3 to 4 spinners each as well. Lyon going for a few. Let's get Agar in. Hussain here with a 52 for 100. Digging in, Bangladesh. Oh, is that a snick? I don't think it is. Oh, no, it is. They're going up. Yes, it is a snick. Rahim gone. The keeper, Mustafiza Rahim, scored a test double 100. So good to see the back of him. Lyon gets his first wicket of the season. Oh, and a snick and a wicket as well. I love the baldness they've given Lyon as well. Absolutely no hair on that head. Looks like a bowling ball, but an excellent bowler. Okay, in comes Ashton Agar. We might just spin here till T. And I think it's hard for Australian spinners as well because they don't ever prepare wickets for the spinners. So they get very few wickets unless you're playing for New South Wales. So for an Ashton Agar playing at they still play at the Wacker for domestic cricket, it's going to be very hard for him to get too many wickets in domestic cricket. And if their wickets aren't great as well, then all the pace bowlers will take the wickets quite quickly and the spinners don't get a chance to come in. Okay, we're playing Scotland in the T20 soon, so that should be interesting. All right, let's get through to the end of day 2. Let's get Stark back in. And let's get Stark with Cummins. Let's give them a few overs each. Oh, inside edge. I love the swing that Stark gets as well. That is plumb hitting middle. Hussain's gone. So we're just wearing Bangladesh away. And that's what I thought might happen. But I don't want to assume, because a couple of times I assumed in the IPL save, I assumed we would win when we put a good score on the board. And we did not. So you never quite know what's going to happen in cricket. And I'm sure that's why a lot of us watch it, play it, live it. Because it is such an interesting game. They're stuck with another wicket, a full straight ball that's pitching on Midland leg and hitting middle. See the back of Hussain, and we should be into the bowlers now. Hassan, it's got an average of 16, just a youngster. But after that, I'm sure it says wants to bat at 11. Yeah, so you've got 3 number 11s. So if we can get one more wicket, the tail shouldn't be, or the end of the innings shouldn't be too far away. Oh, nice snick by Cummins. This is where Hazelwood's desperate to get on. But we'll leave Stark and Cummins on for now. Or Mamadala. Oh, what a dive by Cummins. That's out. I thought it hit the ground. What a wicket. What a huge dive. I'm going to watch that again. I was impressed. How far did he dive? That is incredible. It's like one of Nathan Lyon's caught and bowled. Okay, we've got really the tail in. So I don't see them lasting too much longer, especially against Cummins and Stark. That's full and straight and out. 8's a pretty good score for Mustafiza. Cummins to Ahmed. Oh, it's outside the line. Last over for Stark. Oh, it's a waft. Can he get a 5-5 last ball? Yes, he can. Caught and bowled. That's the innings. 188. Good lead of 140. Let's push on. We've still got 3 whole days left. I don't think my goal of this video going for half an hour is really the plan. Well, it was the plan, but it's not going to happen as we're only 2 days into test match day number 1, but I'm having a good time. All right, we'll just turn highlights off and we'll blast through, and I'll just turn up the aggression a little bit just to really put some pressure on Bangladesh. Joe Burns 19, Labuschagne should see through to stumps. I'm not going to worry about slowing down when we're this far ahead. Very good position. All right, I'll try and skip through a little bit now because we are in a pretty dominating position. What's his aggression? Average is okay. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Just didn't want him to be defensive because they sit in all day making no runs, and you've really got to crank the aggression up. Otherwise, the game goes nowhere. Still a lot of this game to go. There's Warner moving past 50. He could really make a big score here in this second innings. Here's Lunch, no wickets lost. Warner 82, Labuschagne 49. Happy with this aggression. We'll just keep ticking along. Probably look to bat. It's a partnership record. I haven't played Bangladesh that many times, so the records probably aren't that high. Remember them playing Bangladesh in 2003. We're not even halfway through, so I'll probably look to bat pretty much all of day 3 here and set something mammoth. Oh, 98. Set something mammoth for Bangladesh to try and chase down. There's no rain, so don't have to worry about losing any overs. All right, Smith's in. Absolutely cruising. Smith and Marnus, best friends. Smith is, or Labuschagne is Smith 2.0. Love Steve Smith. Pushing up towards a lead of nearly 400. Well, probably once Marnus gets to 100, let's speed up a little bit. I'm not sure whether I should declare tonight or just really pump the lead up high. No, I'm going to keep going. I'm going to bat at least the whole day. I know I could declare. Maybe I'll bat for a little bit in the morning. All-time record for Australia versus Bangladesh. Smith and Labuschagne. Labuschagne near the 150. He's made it with an edge. Let's see him raise the bat. Oh, I should have had a slip in. I love how he raises the bat before the ball even got to the rope as well. That is amazing. All right, I've got 20 minutes. Let's just bat out the day and then we'll declare. See if Smith can get to 100. Oh, 2 overs to go. Let's watch the highlights. See if Smith can get to 100. Oh, beautiful 6. I'd feel bad declaring on him. There it is. There's another 100 for Steve Smith. Back-to-back hundreds. That means I can declare overnight. 2 whole days to bowl out Bangladesh. Labuschagne's joining in the party. This is a huge... I think that's out. That's out. Oh, let's get... Does anyone want to swing? Let's get Stark in for the last over. Why not? 1 over to go. Hopefully Smith doesn't get out. And then we've got 2 whole days to bowl at Bangladesh, which, oh, Smith, don't get out for the last couple of balls. Go for 6. Oh, frustrating. All right, Trav Head, just come in. Turn highlights off. Great. Declare overnight. Trav Head, an amazing 1 not out. Stark only got one ball. 4 for 402 declared, 98 for Warner, 175 Labuschagne, 105 for Smith. Not even worth looking at the Bangladeshi figures. 543 to win. I'm going to say very slim chance. Let's get the highlights on. They've had a bit of a look as well. I can play the second match a little bit quicker. Let's go with Stark and Hazelwood. I'm going to go around the wicket to start. And generally I'll bowl my openers 5 each as well. Sometimes I'll vary it. That is Plum from Stark. Loves an LB in this game. Now when you play, do you have a lot of LBs? Because last year in some innings there were 4, 5, 6, 7 LBWs in each innings. So it seems like they're quite a high mode of dismissal. And I think in real life only about 15% of actual dismissals are LBWs. Alright, let's have Cummins on. Let's give Hazelwood one more and we'll go in with Lyon. And this is really just a case of grinding Bangladesh down. In a 4-match series though, I may have been tempted... Oh, hang on, what happened here? Why did Cummins only have one over? Oh, I don't know what I did there. I'm sometimes tempted just to bat an extra session, just to really demoralize the bowlers and lower their form. That tends to work quite well. I might have batted on, made 550 plus and made them try and chase about 700. So a little bit unrealistic. It's probably not what you do in real life. But if it's a first match of a 4-test series, that's out. Then I tend to do that, especially if a team's touring and they've only got their squad players to pick from. You can demoralize some bowlers pretty quickly and get them out of the team if they get smashed. All right, we've got Lyon. Could take a bag. I'm quite looking forward to this T20 against Scotland as well. That looks to be good fun. I played an Afghanistani save in Cricket Captain 19, and they had a series early on against Scotland, and we did score over 400. That was pretty good fun. So I wonder what might happen. Hopefully we can bat first, and it's a pretty flat deck, and we can get a good score. All right, it's nearly lunch. Let's get Stark on for just 1 or 2. That's pitched outside leg. Not by much. Where did it pitch? Here? Oh, it is outside leg. All right, lunch. 3 for 98 Bangladesh. Still 445 to win. So let's hit them with Stark Cummins for 10 overs. I'm digging in. All right, let's swap that around. Let's get Lyon on. Hasn't been a chance for a while. Still 400 for Bangladesh to win. I'm not worried. We'll just grind away. That's what Test match cricket is like when you're playing your Test match mode. I do like playing all 3 formats as well. An international save is really good fun. That's Plum from Agar. Does like playing Bangladesh. Because there's some really different tactics that you need to use as well. That stumped, comes down the wicket. Lyon's got Saka for 21. I might bowl Agar and Lyon through here until the tea break. Here comes Nathan Lyon. Oh, it's pitched outside. Hit him outside the line of off stump. But was going on to hit middle. All right, nearly at tea. Tea interval, day 4, 5 for 195. So showing more fight in the second innings. New ball's 18 overs away. I might let Paddy have a couple. We might just rotate Paddy and Hazelwood and Stark until about the 80 over mark. And then I always like to use spinners for the last 10. Well, that could be run out. That's dangerous. That is run out. Okay, is Cummins and just have one more from Stark. And do you know what? Just for a bit of a giggle, let's just give -1. I'm just going to give him 2 overs. Because I do want him to bowl a little bit as well. Let's get Agar back in. Oh, whoops, not Marnus. Let's get Agar and line bowling. Bangladesh have dug in. Good first test match. That's hitting leg stump. That is out. And we are into the tail. So let's get a little bit aggressive. Can line jam a wicket. Because it's a game and it's fun, let's get Steve Smith on. That's what games are all about. See if he can tweak out Mamadala. See if he can add test wicket. I'm going to say 20 test wickets? 15? 17. So yeah, I was somewhere in the area. No bowler, no ball. So that's not great. Let's get Stark on. Mustafiza, no match for the new ball. Cleaned up entirely. Stark could get 3 in and over here. And let's go full and straight. Try and get an LBW to win the match. Oh, I was right. No, it's pitched outside leg. That's so close, though. So close. What a prediction. Oh, it's not by much either. Hitting leg stump. Okay, and let's let Hazelwood have this over. And bowled again. So 3 bowls with the new ball in 9 balls. Australia win. Dominating performance, winning by 313 runs. Definitely haven't kept this video to half an hour, but that's okay. People are enjoying these videos. Hopefully you're enjoying watching. We've got another test and a T20 to go in this video. Australia 328, Steve Smith 116, 3 for Ahmed, 3 for Jayed, 3 for someone else who went for over 100. Second innings, Labuschagne 175, Smith 105. What a pair they're making. Nothing to write home about with the bowling. Bangladesh 188, bit better in the second innings, but fell away quickly. Hussain 73, Mustafiza Rahim, Mushfiqur Rahim. Sorry, those names get confusing. Mushfiqur Rahim 64, offered the most resistance. Stark 3 for 31, Lyon 3 for 38. Forgot the first innings. 5 for Mitchell Stark, 5 for 50. And let's move on to the second innings. Now, let's have a quick look, which I haven't done. We've got the Test Championship, which we're midway through, but also the should have performance and the Test rankings. So Australia are 5th, and if you have a look here against Bangladesh, they drew their series here 1-1. So if you look at Australia away, the only thing they've won is New Zealand and Zimbabwe back in '99. So they've been pretty terrible away from home, pretty good at home, only losing to India when they didn't have Smith and Warner, and South Africa, and when South Africa were quite strong 4 years ago. That was when Faf du Plessis played an amazing innings, I think, in Perth to deny Australia a win, and then Australia lost the next match. That was a really, really memorable series. I was trying to look at... I don't really know how to do it. Here, world ratings. So if Australia win, they've got 1 point because they had a draw last time. So they'll move to maybe 3rd or 4th. They'll be equal points with New Zealand and Pakistan. India a long way ahead. One day as Australia are 4th, and T20s, generally they're pretty low, but they're actually 3rd because they played pretty well last year. They won I think they won all their T20s in the last calendar year. So I'm going to keep exactly the same side because I really liked it. We did well. There's some bounce and spin. Let's make sure Stark ends up back down here. I think that's annoying. If you promote somebody in the middle of a game, it alters their batting spot permanently, which is a little bit annoying. I wish they'd take that out. But sorry, players here. We're going to go with the same 11. We're going to go a little bit quicker and play this T20. Lucky we've won the toss again. We're going to bat. They got Linton Das in, and really for Bangladesh, pretty much the same team. I don't think, did he play last time? No, Tajul Islam didn't. I think he's a spinner. Yep, so left arm, and a lot of players the same. We'll do highlights for the first 10 because why not? Not many highlights to speak of. Warner's flicked one for 4, down to fine leg. Hope Joe Burns gets some runs in this match. Nice shot by Warner. It's all Warner. Joe Burns is just being the excellent support partner, so you can see the left-hand, right-hand combination, which is the problem when they had Bancroft in, who was a left-hander as well. It was, I think, too much of the same, unless I'm pretty sure he's a left-hander. Sometimes I think I know things, and I'm wrong, but that's okay. Whoops, nearly accidentally declared. That's where I want to go, to the bowling, and yeah, let's get a little bit quicker. Any rain? I didn't check. No rain. It's Bangladesh. I don't think it's rain there in a test match very often. All right, Warner dominating. Joe Burns just hanging in. 50 for Davey Warner. Already used 6 bowlers. I always find this tactic interesting where they use a batsman for an over. Gee, if they've used Mustafiza, who's the keeper? I thought he's the best keeper. Must be Linton Das the keeper, but yeah, I think Mushfiqur. Sorry if I keep calling him Mustafiza. They took Mustafiza out. Mushfiqur Rahim, in my opinion, is the better keeper, but you know, there you go, just in as a bat. But still annoying that they bowl like 2 batsmen for an over each because they don't bowl spin until after the 15th over. But that's just a thing of the game that's been happening for a long time. All right, we've reached T. Warner 53, Burns 32. I don't think there's really any need to go too crazy. We'll just slowly accumulate some runs. Burns eventually gets to 50. I'm going to speed Burns up a little bit. It's a bit slow for me. That I like. All-time record against Bangladesh. You might see a few of those as they haven't played many matches. Warner into the 90s. Let's put highlights on. See if we can watch him make his 100. Beautiful from Warner. Nice single to the deep. Australia haven't lost any wickets at all. I wonder if we can get through a day without losing any wickets. I know there was a test match many years ago, might have been 2000, maybe 8 or 9, where South Africa played Bangladesh and South Africa didn't lose a wicket in the entire first day. I don't really know how many other times that's happened. None for 200. Oh, here's some DLS, which I haven't seen very often. So interesting DLS there. I didn't really understand that DLS. It didn't really make a lot of sense. I generally do understand Duckworth, Lewis, Stern, but it seemed like there were 98. Maybe they only lost an over and the target was pretty similar. It doesn't really tell you. 100 for Joe Burns, so he's got his 5th Test 100. And this is why I always want him in the side, because he'd played 20 Test matches and he had 4 Test 100s and an average over 40. So I think he should just be in the side all the time. But like I've said, I'm a huge Joe Burns fan. I'm going to keep promoting Joe Burns, one of my favourite players. I like players who sometimes don't seem like they're the most naturally gifted players ever, but they kind of squeeze every ounce of their ability out to make it as an athlete. So I tend to go for those players in most sports. All right, let's maybe have a look at Warner's 150. Another whip down to the onside. 150. Oh, it doesn't even raise the bat. Oh, no, he's not on 150. That was Joe Burns, who's been hogging the strike. Here's Warner. So I've said it in a couple of my other videos. Some of my, I think, easy suggestions to have would just be to have the batters' names here and their scores. You could have Warner and Burns. So if you go to the highlights screen, you can see what they're on. More for the one-day matches where the scores move very quickly. I think that would be handy. Gee, they've used just about everyone here to try and get a wicket. There's the end of day 1. Australia have not lost a wicket. None for 309. Apologies if you don't like the score around this way. I'm Australian. I love it. I find it very difficult to do it around the other way. But if you like, it's 309 for none. So bowling, lots of being smashed all over the park. Warner and Burns actually going at a very similar strike rate as well, 51. Joe Burns actually a bit quicker. So I'm not worrying too much about Warner going too hard. They can just keep chipping along. Let's have a look at this partnership. Okay, Warner's finally out. Lavascagni comes in. No respite for the Bangladeshis. Gee, and he's going hard. Let's just bat him hard and fast, as Tony Greig would say. I miss Tony Greig. I do miss the classic commentators here in Australia on Nine's Wild World of Sports. Richie Benaud, Tony Greig and Bill Laurie. What a classic combination they were. That was pretty much my childhood, listening to them behind the microphone. And also a big fan of the 12th Man records, as Billy Birmingham would put it, as well. So if you haven't heard those, I'll just say that is a little bit of a language warning if you are chasing those down. Actually on Spotify now, so have been listening to those a little bit in the car. 200 for Joe Burns. If it was real life, it'd probably be dropped for the next match because that's how Australia works sometimes. Magnificent 202. He's eclipsed Australia's highest score against Bangladesh, which was Jason Gillespie, when he scored 201 not out as a night watchman, one of my favourite moments of all time. And interestingly, although there is a tweak to the story, Jason Gillespie was actually dropped for the very next match Australia played, although the Bangladesh match was in April and Australia's next test match, I think, was December of that year. So by that time, Gillespie was at the tail end of his career, and there were about 4 or 5 bowlers who had eclipsed him. So it sounds harsh. You make 201 not out and you're dropped, but it was 7 months later and Jason Gillespie was just about done. But wonderful player, coached Yorkshire, I think coaches the Adelaide Strikers, and also has a big love for wrestling. So just like myself, if you like wrestling, there are a lot of videos on my channel playing through some wrestling games and also a few wrestling videos on there as well. Okay, 2 for 463. We're nearing into tea on the second day. Labuschagne and Smith. I'm just going to get these two to get a bit of a move on. Now, I know in a real test match, you would probably declare halfway through session 3, but I might just bat all the way to the end of day 3. Probably have a little bowl at Bangladesh. Labuschagne, 99. Can he get another 100? Bangladesh not really providing much of a challenge. I thought they might be a bit tricky in Bangladesh because they could prepare some spinning wickets and play a lot of spinners, which Australia don't have. And not a lot of Australia's players are proficient against spin. If you have a look at these stats here, so slight spin bowling preference. Oh, a few of them do. Labuschagne doesn't. Yeah, Head does. But not a lot of them do really like spin. Alright, I forgot to turn the highlights off, but this is a dominating performance, 2 for 565, so apologies if you wanted to tune in for something competitive, but we are kicking off with Bangladesh and Scotland, so alright, let's push on maybe to 600. I'll declare it the 600 mark. Well, it's 606. Let's go for 2 more overs. There we go, and let's declare. 5 for 614 gives us 20 minutes to bowl. Let's crank that aggression meter. If it's Starkey, he's going full, trying to swing the ball into the pads like you see happen so often in international cricket. Alright, I really thought these test matches wouldn't quite take as long as they have been, but there we go. None for 7. Alright, let's blast through because I don't think Bangladesh are going to win. Their only hope is a draw. I'll be surprised if they can hang out 3 whole days for 20 wickets. It's not the easiest wicket to bat on. Let's get Paddy in. I think Lyon will be really useful. I think I'm going to back him in here. I'm going to make a prediction that he takes 5 wickets. And I won't keep bowling him so he gets 5 wickets. I just think with a fairly good session or two of bowling, he will take a good amount of wickets. Well, no wickets so far from Bangladesh. Lion could be... Oh, there we go. There's a snick behind. Tamim Iqbal is gone. Ashton Agar, can he get a wicket? I'll just bowl these two. I might just give Labuschagne a little roll. All right. 1 for 101. All right. Time for the heavy artillery. No, not Agar. Stark. Let's get Stark on. So I do tend to find that that's LBW. You might play some of these smaller teams and the top order will dig in generally. Otherwise, they won't make many runs at all. And they'll dig in and maybe make a respectable 250. Though in the face of 600, it's definitely not enough. Alright, let's just rotate around these bowlers. Not really going to get too creative. I don't think I need to. Just have a... Oh, there's another edge from Lyon. I told you he'll be the key. I don't mind if he goes for a few runs, because that generally is his role in the Australian team. Be aggressive. Take wickets. He's a wicket-taking off-spin bowler, which quite often your off-spinners are going to be a little bit defensive to try not to leak runs. But we're not going to worry about that too much with Nathan Lyon. Struck outside the line. Oh, yeah, it was. That was close. All right, let's get Lyon off. Let's give Labuschagne just a couple. I'm not sure how strong his bowling will be in the game. If you look at first class 58 at 42, which is better than Zampa, but he has played 80 games, so his role is not as a bowler. And Test match, he's got 12 wickets. Although last year he only got 3, so he was more of a bowler the year before. And when he played in Pakistan, he got a few wickets there. All right, let's get Labuschagne off for Paddy Cummins. There's a catch, nice catch at short leg. And let's give Stark a couple here as well. Then we'll put the spinners on. It's T. We'll put the spinners on until the new ball and go with Stark and Hazelwood. So probably aiming... I don't know if I'm going to enforce the follow-on. I tend not to, again for that reason I mentioned before, where if it's the first match in a series, I want to bat again and just really demoralise the bowlers. There's another wicket for Lyon. He's got 3. Just to really put the just to really lower their form meter as well. So you'll see, no, not on the opposition, but on Agar, he'll have batting form and bowling form. And even though you can't see their form, their form goes down if they've played a game and got 2 wickets for 200 or 300 runs. All right, let's give Smith a... I haven't given Travis Head any. Let's give Head 1. Let's give Smith 1. And then let's take the new ball with Stark, who's going to bowl full. Oh, geez, good with the new ball. That's pitched outside leg and taken the top of off. That is outstanding to a set batsman. Really is an excellent and exciting bowler to watch, Mitchell Stark. Did I say Hazelwood was going to bowl? Yeah, he is. Okay. So Shed round the bowling. Oh, it looks like some outswing as well. Same delivery that got his last wicket. Still 112 for the follow-on. I might make Bangladesh follow on. Actually, I definitely am, because it's the last test in the series. Let's give Starkey one more. He's pretty cooked. All right, Cummins. I don't really mind bowling Lyon in the first 15. I don't think it matters that much. It's like 1 over or 2 overs before that ball's starting to wear a little bit. And we've been seeing that more and more in Test cricket. Spinners bowling in the first 15, even in one days and T20s is a good tactic as well. We see a lot of spinners opening the bowling in T20, mainly that second over, And often a tactic where they'll use a bowler, like a Matt Renshaw or a Joe Burns will sneak through and over to take that out. Okay, Lions got a wicket here. And still 85. And I might turn the highlights off for the second innings just so we can get through and get onto that Scotland T20, which I'm sure you're all dying to see. All right, lots of runs in this match. Gonna stick with Lyon. Hopefully he'll get a 5-wicket haul. Five wickets for Nathan Lyon. 5 for 101, 3 for Stark, 1 for Hazelwood, 1 for Cummins. Yes, let's enforce the follow-on. Alright, I'm going to turn the highlights off. Let's blast through this because there's only one result possible. If Bangladesh bat for 2 days, it'll be a miracle. Let's get Starkey full, get him swinging it, get some wickets, get onto this Scotland T20. Oh, geez, going for a few. Trying a little bit too hard. Alright, let's just pull it back a bit, get Cummins on. Interesting. Alright, there's a wicket. Linton Das gone. Hope you don't mind me speeding this up a little bit in this innings. I think we could be in for some more wickets from Nathan Lyon. Nice big spell from Paddy Cummins. Big 7-over spell, big effort. Agar can have a couple before the luncheon break. Here we go, 3 for 109. Yeah, let's rotate through. I was going to keep the spinners on, but we'll have a little blast from the seamers. There's one from Hazelwood. So I don't see Bangladesh making us bat again. Pretty tired after a long 2 days in the field. Gee, Stark is cleaning up. I might not even get the spinners back on. Poor Agar, 2 overs. Paddy probably deserves to have a bit of a bowl. 5, another 5 for Stark. Let's get him off. Let's give poor Agar a go. Can he get the winning wicket? He does. Let's have a quick watch of the winning wicket. Australia win 2-0. Gets him an extra point. There's a little snicko. Agar gets the wicket. And Bangladesh have lost. And Australia win by an innings and 141 runs. So a commanding victory. Joe Burns, 205. Warner, 157. Labuschagne, 121. Smith, 71. Jayed, 4 wickets, but for plenty. Lyon, 5 for 101. In reply, Bangladesh, 331 and just 142 in the second innings. Despite being 3 for 100, which they were, or 2 for 99, they did lose the last 8 wickets for 43. Stark with another 5-wicket haul. Everyone else chipped in with 1. Series is won 2-0. And now let's get into the most exciting part, a T20 against Scotland. So here's the Test Championship. Australia and India pretty much lock-ins to play that at Lords, which I think is... I can't remember when it was actually going to be held. Summer of 2021. Not really sure how that's going to work now in real life. We've unlocked a couple of achievements there. Hey, win a Test Series. I'm not going to spend too long on this one-off squad match against Scotland. Here's Timmy David, who's actually a Singaporean international, so that's where his T20s have come from. So I don't know why he's eligible for Australia, though you might want to pick him, but he's been turning it up for Singapore in the T20 World Cup qualifiers that he played for. All right, let me have a look at my squad. Okay, Warner, Finch, Smith. Labuschagne hasn't really played any T20, so I might just leave him out for now. Same for Head. Short can come in. I want some dynamic batsmen. I'm actually going to get Philippi in. Maxwell. Stark, Cummins. I'm not going to go with Lyon or Hazelwood, but I might go Richardson, Stark. I'll have a think about it. All right, let's just have a look at the career players here who've got some good stats. Cam Watt hasn't played for a while. Khawaja, Head, who do I want in here? I'm going to give Chris Lynn a bit of a go early on because there's a T20 World Cup coming up. That'll be video number 4, but I've still got 9 more T20s to go before that. So I'm kind of going to get Agar in. I like Agar in the T20 format. He's just a really good all-round package. Stoinis is hit and miss. Let's have a look at the bowling. Who's not wickets. Let's kind of look at Behrendorff was going pretty well last year. Played a few. We need a spinner. Oh, Zampa does spin. Zampa's the spinner. Let's have a look who else we can get in here as well. I might put Stoinis in the squad. Oh, and I need Philippi as well, who hasn't played. So is there anyone here who really pushing for selection? Here's Philippi. He's going to be my keeper. And not wickets. Average. Is there anyone? Sams? I just think if he can get his batting right, he could be a bit of a surprise package. Turner just didn't have a great series. Yeah, that's pretty happy with that team. Warner Finch. I'm going to give Chris Lynn a go in that middle order. That's an explosive team. Joe, I'm not even going to worry about coaching for a one-off T20 against Scotland. All right. Hopefully this doesn't go badly. Oh, it's not the best pitch. I was hoping for a complete flat deck that I could dominate on. I'm not going to have Stoinis in. I'm going to go for Lynn. The problem is who do you bat at 7? Because they're trying to find roles. I think Lynn should be at 4. Maxwell at 5. Yeah, let's go Philippi 6. It's so hard because Short is such a good T20 player. Let's just keep Philippi as the keeper for now, and he can come in at 7. And then, yeah, Richardson start coming. Zampa I like, although, no, I'm actually going to go Agar. There's only 2 pace bowlers. No, I don't like that. Let's get Richardson in. And then you've got 4, and then you've got your other overs between Maxwell and Short. I'm just going to back Maxwell in. Yeah, I think let's do that. Hopefully we can win the toss. It's been tails twice. See the Scotland lineup. Not that you probably know many of the players. McLeod, Steele, Munsey, Cross. He's the keeper. Jones, Harris, Davies, Sheriff, Watt, Wheel, Whittingham. Not really familiar with too many of those players. We've been put into bat, so that's all right. Let's watch the highlights because it is a T20. And that will be the end of the video. So sorry it's gone a bit longer than I thought. But hopefully you are enjoying it. Davey to Warner. Davey to Davey. It's a no ball and a 4 first ball. 8 off the first over. Oh, they've been pretty conservative. It's not the easiest wicket to bat on. Let's crank it a little. All right, nice 4 onto the onside. Oh, Finch is bowled. Can be dangerous being too aggressive because you can lose wickets very quickly. Oh, geez, run out Smith. Come on, Smith, get in. He's in. Bit worried there. Steve Smith was nearly out, run out. Not the fastest start from Australia. Oh, that's out as well. All right, Chris Lynn. Now, Chris Lynn does not have a 50 for Australia. He's played 23 times here, no 50s. Always been a bit of a disappointment at Australian level. Keeps getting injured. And I'm a big fan. He's so exciting to watch. And I think he would just do so well in the Australian team. He's lucky that's bounced before. But every time he gets his opportunity, he seems to get injured. And he's a liability in the field. So that's a bit of a shame. I think there's scope for... In T20s, when you've got these really dynamic players you don't want to field, is there scope for allowing a 12th man who just fields, so someone in your squad? So if you've got a Chris Gale, or if you've got, a Chris Lynn, who just are such good batters, but just do not want to field anymore, maybe in T20s, you could just have a specialist 12th man, and they bat, and you just know they're not going to field, and that's just part of the rules. But that's just my thought, that could allow someone like Chris Lynn to play for Australia if you have that rule, and a squad member, maybe Stoinis, who's not in the team, he could just come out and field. So we're really batting quite slowly. That's snicked as well. I'm a bit worried. I was quite excited about this T20. Maxwell and Lynn are going to have to just really put on a show. I know it's not the best wicket. There we go, Chris Lynn. Played some amazing innings in the Big Bash. Absolutely amazing. I think he got a 90 off 30-something balls last year. It's just incredible to watch. Despite the Heat never doing anything because their team's pretty average. It's just Lynn and I think they had AB de Villiers as well. But it wasn't really a very team-oriented approach. Just a few superstars. Although they did have... I think they did have... Joe Burns and Matt Renshaw as well, but their bowling really let them down. All right, 93. It's okay. It's like an okay score. Do need a few sixes, so thanks, Glenn Maxwell. One of my favourite players. I love watching Glenn Maxwell bat. I could watch him bat all day. And I get upset when journalists have a go at Glenn Maxwell because he's an X-factor batter and they don't grow on trees. And you just have to embrace that. Yeah, he's going to get out sometimes. He's going to look stupid sometimes, and his innings may look ugly sometimes. But he can score you a 50 and 20 balls, and there's not many players that can do that. And he can hit sixes, 360-degree sixes, and he can also hit the ball straight to. Cow corner's been dropped. He's been dropped for 4. So Maxwell, look, a 45 ball 17. Lynn's struggling, but you got Short and Philippi, 5 overs, so. Really should be looking at least 50. So a score of 170 minimum. But we know in the last 5 overs of a T20, we'll see what we can get. So we were 121 with 5 to go. Let's see how many we can get in the last 5. In this thrilling T20 between Australia and Scotland, which sadly didn't take place in real life due to the current situation. So hopefully you can watch some cricket captain videos again to get your cricket fix. That is a rapid 50 from Maxwell, or maybe he's on 49. Get your cricket fix here in these cricket videos. So if you've watched this far, I know we're at the end. I don't generally go on too much about comments and likes and all those kind of things and subscriptions, but if you've got this far, it would just be really helpful if you just flicked a quick like and maybe a quick comment down below. I always love reading them and I will reply. Okay, 40 from Lynn, 50 from Maxwell, 4 overs to go. Beautiful shot from Lynn. I didn't even see where that went. Huge 6. Can he get his first Australian 50? I'd love to see it. Oh, what's he? 48. Come on, Chris Lynn. Just dangerous bowling a spinner in the last 3. There it is. Chris Lynn's first Australian 50. Well done, Chris Lynn. Maybe he might be my talisman for the World Cup. So coming up next, which I may go through as we're in these last few overs, the next playthrough is 3 T20s and 3 ODIs against England. Another 6 from Lynn. Then it'll be a slightly bigger video of 3 ODIs against Zimbabwe and 3 T20s against the West Indies and 3 against India. This is another 4. Then video 4 is the T20 World Cup. Then 2 tests against Afghanistan and then on to the Australian summer. So I'll post the schedule in the comments. So if you want to see what's going to happen in each video, just have a look. Huge from Chris Lynn. That's a big 20 run over. Or was that a 4? Oh, sorry, an 18 run over. What's this achievement? Terra Firma didn't tell me what it was. All right, great partnership from these two. 2 overs to go. Could almost get to 200 if they have 2 good overs. Nice 4 from Maxwell. Oh, that's plum. All right, Short or Philippi? Nah, definitely Short. He's got to go hard. Another, is it 4 or 6? Another 6 from Chris Lynn. He's bringing the 6s. Oh, he's missed that one. And final over. Sharif's going to bowl it. Short's played him through the offside. He's cut him for 6. Hit him for 6. Oh, that's 4. Smashed in for 4. Smashed in for another 4. Could we get to 200 with a 4 off the last ball? Oh, they always get out off the last ball. I think that's set way too high. It's really frustrating. They tend to get out, I think, 2/3 of the time on the last ball. But I'm not going to complain too much. Short makes 23 off 7. And that was 22 off the last over. Now, in the last 5 overs, we did score 75 runs. So we did put on a lot of runs there at the end. Pretty similar figures. I was a bit worried when we're only about 60 halfway through. So we did score about 135 off the last 10. Let's have highlights on. Guess what? Stark's going to bowl full and straight. And I do like here, even though it's not quite been tweaked right yet, the DLS score, which puts you on par. But it doesn't seem to work after the first over. It always seems a little bit... It seems like it's an over-out to me at all times. So we'll get to Scotland at 5 overs. And I think they're going to be ahead of DLS, no matter what they are. Unless they've lost a ton of wickets, which then if the game does get rained out, they theoretically would be the victors. That's LBW as well from Cummins. See, DLS is 22, so it is. They are behind it, but we'll see what happens. Excellent bowling from Stark. Scotland in a lot of trouble here at 3 for 18. 4 for 18. It is full and straight. Stark has 2 for 7. Inside edge for a single. After 3 overs, 4 for 20. Oh dear. Well, they're definitely behind the DLS because they lost so many wickets. But just keep an eye on that in the next videos. Or you can have a look at the IPL and 100 save and just have a look at what happens there. Oh, Cummins on fire. That's LB hitting the leg stump. So definitely not the half an hour video that I thought. It's more been about 75 minutes, but that's okay. I might go through quicker after this first video because you will know what's happening. I'm going to bowl Stark and Cummins 1 more each, and this game could just about be done. Not quite an edge. Not quite an edge. Not quite an edge. Well, there's an over without a wicket, so Scotland would be thankful for that. That's outside the line. That smashed the stumps to pieces. Paddy Cummins, 4 for 19. I don't think he has a 5-for in any form of T20 cricket. So this could be his first one against Scotland. Ah, that's LB. That's gone. 5 wickets for Paddy Cummins. He's on fire. He's going to get another over as well. He could get 8. I'm going to pause Zampa and Jai Richardson. Let's put the field out. Mainly, I know I don't have to, but I'm going to try and save the wickets for Cummins. See if Zampa might just sneak one. Poor Scotland, 7 for 33. I'm glad they didn't bat first. Well, that's out. That's plum. Golden duck for Watt. What was he doing? Wasn't using the bat, that's for sure. All right, I'm going to bring the field up. If he goes for some runs, that's okay. Definitely behind the Duckworth-Lewis now. 8 for 38. He's got hit for 2 fours. Catch. 6 for Cummins. 6 for 29. Can he take 7? Whittingham. Batting average of 1. Oh, I probably should have put more slips in. Oh, he's got it down to fine leg. Excellent catch down there. 7 wickets for Paddy Cummins. The fans are going wild. Probably not Scotland fans. And I'm going to say that is the best T20 figures, international figures of all time. Paddy Cummins, 7 for 29. Scotland, a paltry 46. Not much else to write about. Jones, 11 was the only resistance. And Stark with 2 handy wickets and all wrapped up inside 8 overs. 7 for 29. Australia win the series 1-0. Thanks for watching. What I'm going to do really quick before we leave is just see, I'm pretty sure that is the best T20 figures of all time. Pat Cummins versus Scotland. Probably why they don't play too many matches against each other. I can't do best bowling. Maybe if I stick it on bowling and we go retired players and we go best. absolutely beats Chahal's 6 for 7 and Mendes's 6 for 8. So the first international 7 for. Let's see if it's the best ever in T20 cricket. I'm sure there's some 7s. Nope. Ackerman's got a 7 for 18, but it's the second best T20 figures of all time. Thanks so much for watching the video. The next video is 2 T20s against England and 3 ODIs against England. Crabman again. Thanks so much for watching and see you tomorrow.